everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to the channel if you're new here, and welcome to another Sims 4 speed build video. So today we're going to be building in the world of Henford-on-Bagley, which is the world that we got from the expansion pack Cottage Living, and we're building on the lot Cordelia's Secret Cottage, and this is the lot that is up by the top of the waterfall. It's a one bed, one bath. No, it's not. That's a lie. That's what I have it marked as on the gallery, but it really is a one bedroom and a kitchen, and there is not a bathroom on this lot. There is an outhouse and there is a outdoor shower, but there is no bathroom in this house because I didn't think that that would make sense since we're building Hagrids Hut, and we're not one-to-one replicating Hagrid's Hut, but it is very much inspired, and I did try to make the exterior look very Harry Potter-y, and I think you're gonna see it come together as I'm adding things to it. I had so much fun building this. My kids are very young still, but they have started watching Harry Potter, only the first two, because I think my older daughter watched the third one, but that's as far as we're gonna go for now, because they're just, they are gonna, I know that my kids are gonna be scared, and they don't need to be scared. But I want them to love, or I'm glad that they love Harry Potter. My husband and I watch probably like once a year or every other year. We watch all of the Harry Potters together, and but yeah, my kids just recently watched the first one again, and I wanted, this is part of this whole 4 builds for Halloween kind of, I don't want to call it a series. I might, you might as well. I might make a playlist out of it. But yeah, so this is for a spellcaster. And at first I was considering making, or in my head at first I was thinking for a spellcaster, I wanted to do some sort of like wacky tower, kind of Tangled inspired. Have you seen the Disney Tangled movie? And it was kind of going to be like that. And then my kids watched Harry Potter, and I thought, hold on a second, I have never attempted to build Hagrid's house. I know that many people have done it and done it well before, but I have never done it myself, so I really wanted to try it out. So this, you just saw me add this weeping willow over here, and to me it was, and I know that the Whomping Willow is not right next to Hagrid's house, but I kind of wanted to add that in as a little nod to the whole Harry Potter Empire? The whole story of Harry Potter. I saw that tree, and I thought that would work really well. What I was going to tell you earlier, the total cost of this lot, I actually have to go back because I did add a dog bowl in there a little bit later, so this might be a bit off my number that I have here, but if you're curious to know how much it costs, all of that information is always going to be in the description down below. Something else I wanted to mention, and you're probably able to tell, I have a bit of a sick sounding voice today. I'm fine, I just have a little bit of a cold, but I'm already over it. I think it's just my voice is still recovering. It's me and my voice all the time. But yes, I hope it doesn't bother you too much as I'm doing this voiceover. But yes, so at this point in the build, I did want to, I did look at some pictures of Hagrid's Hut from the movie, and then there's like all of these recreations, like real life recreations that I've found that people have built something that kind of looks like that, and they turn it into like a little Airbnb and stuff like that. But the original pictures from the movie, obviously his house is kind of on a slope or on a hill, and it's pretty steep actually. And so I did manipulate the terrain just a little bit to make it still very playable and not too much. But I did realize in the pictures that there's a lot of rocks around. So I did start and place these live edit rocks in there to kind of, represent the way that it looks in the movie. But then I also did want to landscape it. There's not much landscaping around the movie set, but I just felt like for Sims, you know, it's always like when I'm trying to make something realistic, which this is from a movie, so it's not realistic, but it's a copy kind of, you know. But I'm trying to make things realistic looking, and in The Sims, that can look very bare and bland if you don't add the landscape and some plants. And I'm losing my voice. I'm not losing my voice, but I'm out of breath from talking. Excuse me. I hope it doesn't bother you too much. But yes, so if you don't add a lot of landscaping, a lot of plants, and a lot of clutter around, it can look kind of boring and unfinished sometimes, at least to me. And if you've been on my channel for a little while and you've starting to get to know me, I don't like bland. I really want to make it immersive, and I really want to make sure that you can play in it well, but it's still, I go for the visuals, you know? So that's what I try to do. So I pulled out a bunch of just random debug and life edit stuff to clutter up the slot. There's still going to be activities around. There's going to be a bonfire with the new one that came with the Gibby Point. What was the name of that pack? I don't even remember. The last one that came out with the New Zealand, Australia kind of inspired world. And there's a bonfire that came with this little cooktop, and that is what I added. And then there's also going to be planters, and let me think. There's going to be an outhouse because I mean, first of all, as I was decorating the inside of the house, I realized, oopsie, there's no bathroom. And then I thought, well, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for there to be a bathroom because I don't think that he would have one. And you know, in the movie, he surely did not have a bathroom. It was those two rooms. One was more like a living, sitting area, and the other one was where his bed was. So I thought an outhouse would be better, and it was great because at first I thought, oh, but I don't want to put one of those, you know, public bathrooms in there. And then I remembered that we had gotten an outhouse with with that event that was going on just around the time that before the Enchanted by Nature pack came out. There was an event, and that came with an outhouse. So I used that. And yes, at this point, I am remembering that there... Do you remember from that... Which Harry Potter was it? The one where they're trying to execute the... What is that animal called? Hippogriff. Where they're trying to execute the hippogriff, and the hippogriff is laying out front Hagrid's house, and there's these tons of pumpkins. So I wanted to tie that in, and I am using the pumpkins that came with the Cottage Living Expansion Pack again. However, I do want to let you know that these are not, they're not objects exactly. They are, but they're not objects. So they are going to start to rot. And I'm not sure what that actually is going to look like. I did play test a lot, but I didn't play long enough to know what happens after 7 days, 7 days when they expire, I guess. So I don't know if they're going to start to stink. I hope not. I hope they kind of just, you know, they're not edible anymore. If you do know what happens with those after the 7 days are up, let me know in the comments down below. I hope it doesn't cause a problem, but I just needed to include these. If you know what I could have done, but I like these better. You know, from the Seasons expansion, there was... I'm sorry. Just knocked something off my desk. From the Season expansion pack, there was these decorative pumpkins, and it was like a set of 3, but they look fake and very edgy to me. I did use them here and there around the lot as well, but these pumpkins, they looked so much better to me. So anyways, that's what I went for, and I'm still pulling out more and more clutter because there's a lot of... Okay, so I looked up a bunch of pictures of Hagrid's Hut, and I was trying to find things from all around the building, which was kind of hard because I guess I am assuming that since it's a set, back wall might have been open, you know, so there's not really any pictures from the backside of the house. So I just wanted to make sure that suits or matches the front of the house and is also very cluttered. And there's a ton of just, I mean, I just really random stuff, you know. And you know, like the inside of his house is there's crates and baskets and wooden cages and stuff hanging off the ceiling. And I did consider creating that or recreating that, and I thought, you know what, that's probably just going to interfere, first of all, with gameplay, because you're going to have something in your face the whole time that is over your Sims, and also it's just probably going to block the path of them walking. And so I didn't do that. It is inspired by Hagrid's house, but the inside is not like an exact replica. Neither is the outside, like I said. But in a second here, I'm going to have an idea. And I hope it's going to make you smile. I really liked it, but at this point, still cluttering up. Something that I added also to this lot was I added 2 lot challenges. One of them is off the grid because I feel like that makes sense. And the other one is spooky. So if you want to take those off, absolutely, you should do that. If you want to have this house for a regular sim and not a spellcaster, go for it. I think it works fine. I mean, it works great for some sort of, you know, Michael Bell could live here. Was that his name? Not the caretaker, the sim that you can get like animal tasks and stuff from here in the world of Henford-on-Bagley. He could live here. I really liked it because it kind of fit into the environment really well. Don't ask me what it was doing here with the mushrooms. It was this crate that I used, or this minecart, and I didn't know what to do with it, so I added a bunch of mushrooms. Does that make sense? Is it a reference? No, it's not, but maybe he needs, that's where he stores them, you know? But I thought it looked kind of cute. I made one fall out. Here's when I had that idea, I was like, oh, we should add the car, you know, Ron's dad's car that crashed and then went to live in the woods, or not in the woods, but in the Forbidden Forest. And we have this fallen apart blue car, so I did put that into the build, and I thought, I was so excited when I put that in there. I got so excited, and I thought it makes the whole build even more Harry Pottery, you know. So I added that. Later on, my husband came in at some point, and he's like, you should hide like Easter eggs all over the build, and then tell your subscribers and the people that watch your videos, you should tell them, go find all 7. And I was like, dude, now I'm done. This was when I was editing the video, and he was like, oh man, just go back and do it. And I was like, you know what, I would love to do that, but at this point I have already edited the video for the most part, and I didn't really feel like going back in and doing all of that. So maybe next time, and maybe at some point, I don't know, maybe for some other build, or maybe next year Halloween we're gonna do that. But yeah, so the longest it really took me, not as long as I would have expected it to take to build this, but the outside to make it fit really well and make sense and be playable, it did take me a while to create this exterior. Also, you see that hut thing over there with a thatched roof? I actually meant to look what that came from, and I forgot. But I kind of want to say it came with the newest expansion pack, because I don't remember having ever seen that before. But I thought that was so cool, and I mean, that's not really a thing, but I felt like this was a nice space filler for this little area right here, and I thought it just it made the whole lot look a bit more whimsical and magical and just random. And maybe, you know, this could be like a little storage house where you store vegetables. Maybe it's one of those basements that stays nice and cool since you're off the grid. And like I said, you don't have to have a spellcaster living here. It could be just a regular sim that lives out off the grid. But I think I'm about almost done with the outside. I hope you're enjoying this so far. I had so much fun building this. There was a bunch of items like that palette just then that I was trying to rotate to kind of, you know, shift it around, and I wanted to have one of those milk jugs fallen over, but those things, they don't rotate. There's a lot of things, a lot of items that you can manipulate with a tool mod, but some items you can't do it, and I don't know what I mean, this is probably a code thing, right? Like the way that it's coded, but there's items that you can manipulate with a tool mod, and I think pretty much all of them, or for the most part, you can at least elevate or sink them into the ground, but rotating them is not always the case. So it's just standing around. It's not falling over. It's not laying or leaning against the hill, but I think it still works. And it really was just, I needed more things to clutter this whole thing up with. For the most part, on the outside as well, I was trying to put things here, like on that little barrel thing, on that barrel table. I wanted it to look like a spellcaster lives here. But again, like if you're wanting to change it out and you want to have a regular sim here, you just remove those things, or you can leave them. Maybe they're just quirky little items and they have nothing to do with spellcasting. Another thing that I did want to mention, I have never played as a spellcaster in The Sims. I mean, it's not like I play much anyways, but definitely have never. I added a spider there on the car as a little nod to Hagrid's friend, the spider. I don't remember his name, but the massive spider. This is a small one. And I almost did like a little trail of spiders going into the forest, but I didn't do that. I didn't want to have anything in the way that it would have. The spider is stuck. It's upright, you know, it's made so that you can stick it on a wall, and I would have had to manipulate that with a tool mod. But if I do that, you don't need the tool mod to download anything that was created with that mod. But if you accidentally moved it, then you can't, and you don't have the tool mod, you can't put it back. I mean, you can click undo if you realize it, but there is just, you know, there's no way for you to fix it if you accidentally delete something or move it if you don't own the tool, or if you don't have the tool mod installed. And so I didn't do that. But there's one little spider on the car as a little bit of a nod to Hagrid's friend. And I was talking about something just before, and I forgot what that was. Yeah, I don't remember. But we're moving on to the inside, and if you have seen the movies, then you know that Hagrid's house is full of just random stuff, like I said before. And so I try to just pull out things that kind of made sense, like herbs and flowers and things that he would need for potions. Whether or not Hagrid actually makes his own potions, I don't know. But there was a picture that I've seen, and it was the fireplace, and it had pots and pans on it. So I did try to recreate that here, just pulling, you know, those things attached to the wall, both of those, that hanging spice or herb thing and the pots and pans. But if you hang them on the wall and then you pull them away from the wall with tool mod, you can then make it look like it's hanging on the fireplace. Anyways, that's what I did, and then I just went through and I tried to find furniture that would make sense in here. In the actual set, it's a table and it has like a little bench. And look, there was a few moments where I thought I should try to recreate it as much as I can, but I really didn't want to do that. I wanted it to be very inspired by Hagrid, but I wasn't going for a full replica. And here's the reason why. I'm very much of a perfectionist, and I knew that if I can't pull it off the way that I wanted to, I'm going to be very disappointed. And I just wanted to have fun with this. And so I decided to lean into what it looks like in the movie, but I am not trying to replicate it. So this is my version of Hagrid's house. This is my version of a spellcaster's home that is inspired by Hagrid's house. It is not a copy. And I hope you like it that way, and I hope you are enjoying this video, because I had so much fun building this. There's one thing I do regret. So there is a fridge. It's an off-the-grid fridge, so you can add ice and you can keep things cool. And there is the cauldron in which you can cook, or you can brew potions if you are a spellcaster. But if you're not a spellcaster, you can still, I think you can make like a massive batch of mac and cheese. So you can cook inside the house. But my thought was that whoever lives here, that they would use the fire pit outside, which at this point I had already put the fire pit down, but I could not find that little add-on thingy that you can cook with. And I guess it's a life edit thing, but it's functional, and it took me just forever to find it, and I will add it on later, but at this point I hadn't been able to find it. This is the shower. So the shower is outside. Does that make sense? I don't know. Probably, maybe. I mean, if it's a bucket, maybe I should have used the shower bath combo that came with the I think it came with the Strangerville game pack, because that one maybe looks a bit more DIY'd, but at the same time, you know, he's a spellcaster. Maybe what was that? I don't know if you just heard that, but there was oh, okay. They're building houses around me still, you know, so I'm gonna cut that out. I'm sorry, it just distracted me so much. I don't know if you can hear. You're probably not gonna hear that because I'm gonna edit the background noises out, but that really just threw me off. I thought somebody was honking. Anyways, my brain can't do that. When I am in the middle of a thought and then I get distracted, then I'm gonna lose that thought forever. Yeah. Oh, maybe he made that, maybe he, you know, spell casted this shower or something. I don't know. But there is a wand up there, so a little bit of a nod to the, to him being a spellcaster. And then I was trying to, clutter this place up as good as I could. And then I was really disappointed after I was done and I had taken the screenshots and everything, and I didn't even realize it while I was taking the screenshots. But then I came in to edit the video and I realized that I had started on this kitchen and I cluttered the top of the fridge. I really put some potions on there and some mandrakes and stuff. And is that what they're called in The Sims 2? I think that's the name of the plant, right? I believe the plant actually exists. Obviously, it doesn't have a screaming baby attached to it, but I think a mandrake is an actual thing. I'm not sure. If you know that, let me know in the comments. But I was really disappointed because I didn't clutter up the countertop that I put in there. And the reason was that for some reason in my head, I thought I was making an actual kitchen. And so I wanted to leave a countertop open. And then I realized, well, hold on, I'm using the outside fire pit to cook, so I don't need a countertop. And I was really disappointed that I forgot, or that I didn't clutter that countertop up. But, I mean, you could remove it and put something else there, or you could clutter it up yourself if you wanted to, or if you wanted to add, if you don't want to have a spellcaster living here, you could just add a stove somewhere in this build, like an off-the-grid stove, maybe where the dining table is now, and then put the dining table in the middle or something like that. So yeah, you can shift it around for sure. In this bedroom, I am so shocked that it works. I really did not expect any of that room any of the items that are in this room to be functional, but I had to shift exactly nothing, and I was so happy about it. So the bed is fully functional, even though there's this hanging shelf above it. I really thought that was going to interfere with them being able to get into bed. There is this herbology table. I don't know what it's called. That is in here fully functional as well. I'm so excited. I thought that kind of makes sense, you know, and I'm a broken record at this point, but if you're not going to have a spellcaster living here, some herbology sim, I don't remember what that skill is called, or that job, like an alternative medicine sim, then that's what they could do. But, yeah. So I added this fully functional, bed is fully functional. I did add some spellcaster books up here. I just needed something else to clutter it up with, and I always forget that you can just use the books from the live edit menu. Yeah, but this is pretty much it from me for today. If you do enjoy my builds, then please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Leave me your comments down below. I always love to hear what you think about my builds. If you would like to find me on the gallery, my gallery ID is VinnasNook, VinnasNook, or you can find my builds under the hashtag VinnasNook. And I hope you enjoy the screenshots, and I'll see you next time in the Nook. Bye, guys.